Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of our Pokemon Scarlet and Violet spoiler discussion, in which we talk about the story and more. So, the story. Before we get into like the okay, you've done all the paths, this is the big story payoff thing.
Right.
I just want to say, so we have our Victory Road, we have our doing the Titans, and we have doing the Team Star battles.
Yep.
Which one was your favorite?
Victory Road. I really did enjoy the way they handled the traditional Pokemon gym experience here, and I think the way that builds up in its climax feels like it's meant to be the highlight, the main one of the three.
Yeah. Which gym was your favorite?
I'm torn between the normal type gym because Larry is just fantastic, and the ghost type gym because I really liked the fact that it had double battles.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, and I loved the little dog, the little puppy.
Yes.
The
Yes.
DJ, whatever that was. Yeah, no, that was cool. That was actually really fun. Yeah, I feel like throughout this game, the thing I keep thinking about is that this is the most that a game has had inherent similarities to what I can imagine a future anime. So I'm seeing all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be awesome in the cartoon. Like there's so much of that here, and I feel like the games I'm always like don't ever get that far. But what's here is really awesome. My favorite story was actually the Titan stuff.
I did really like that.
I was like always, I think, excited to see what the Titan was going to be. Like who the Pokemon was going to be. And I know in some cases it was really fun to not see the Pokemon until the Titan was like the first one you saw. Like Earthworm, I didn't see a single Earthworm until I had that battle.
Same.
And that was awesome. And I really enjoyed what is Arvin's Mabostiff? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
That was a rather heavy plot for Pokemon.
Yo, this whole game, I was like, whoa, Pokemon. I was like, whoa, dude, somebody's got the reins over there. But like actually, I was also surprised that we fixed the Mabostiff and it was fine. I was expecting us to have a tearful goodbye. And
he almost did too. Like he prepared for it. Like when you give him the last one, and then he doesn't want to play fetch right away.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they're building up to that, but then he ends up okay. It's like, oh, haha, gotcha. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, and that really worked for me. I liked that Arvin could save his Mabostiff even if he could not save his mother.
Or father.
Dude, Bruce Wayne Arvin over here, man. Like,
this game is made to make Arvin sad.
Yeah, it really is. I was thinking about that when I was playing at the end of my game. I was like, whoa, so is this all happening in Violet, but Arvin's like got dead daddy? Like, is rip, dude. So we do all the 3 paths. We end up at the gate to finally go to this. Please.
Before that. We both owe a very public apology to Director Clavel, or Clive, for thinking he was going to be the main villain.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
We both owe that because, oh my gosh, his role in Starfall Street was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And so that this man just wanted the best for his school.
He did, dude.
That is so good.
Yes. Dude, Clive was actually out here in the students' best interests. I do think there are some funny moments in the story where after we get through helping him at one point, he's like, here's this giant nugget. And I'm like, Clavel, I don't think this is cool. Like, I don't think... And then at the end of the game, of course, he gives you the Master Ball, and I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's all out.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's better.
And it's not just money. It's not just gold. Like, God. Clive, of course, very funny. The one thing we were extremely not allowed to talk about during the review period, LOL.
Which was so funny.
Yeah. But, how was the Elite Four for you?
Really interesting. I didn't struggle too hard. I had a fairly balanced team for what they could throw out at me.
Yeah.
But I was not ready for Rika to be ground type for the first one. So that actually gave me the most trouble. But I was able to kind of find my footing through the rest of it. But I love that Larry came back through it all too.
And
this poor man.
Did you do what I did? And I saw that Larry was queuing up, and I said, "Oh, let me get my fighting Pokemon ready." And then if there was out a freaking bird, I was like, "Dang, Larry!"
Yep.
That was awesome. That was a cool moment, actually. Yeah, it was funny. I like didn't. Maybe you're smarter than me and have better deductive skills. I did not know what the types of the Elite Four were as I was queuing up for them. So every time,
the only one that I knew going in was the teacher that had dragon, because I did that from the class, because his art class he brings out his little dragon Pokemon.
Right.
So,
yeah. Professor Gibble.
Yes, Professor Gibble, of course.
Uh,
So that's how okay, and his whole little my friends and I have been calling them persona social links, when you actually get to go bond with the professors or with the teachers. And his whole thing was about like going back to be the leader of his clan of dragon tamers. I'm like, all right, you got a whole Game of Thrones plot going on over here.
Oh my god. You know, the one that really tripped me up the most though was that baby. What was it? First off, I did not like that baby. I don't like that baby was here. We didn't get enough context about that baby, and that baby was freaking me out. I'm
terrified at the prospect of someone that young being that good of a Pokemon trainer.
What was that thing around its neck supposed to be?
I think it was a giant key, but I think that was like that. I think that was to clue you in that she's Steel type.
Didn't appreciate any of that. It was everything about that baby. I was like, that baby is going to kill us all. Like, not a fan at all. So it was the baby. Triss, the interview. What was that?
Weirdly stressful.
Yeah, I agree. Weirdly stressful.
You're already stressed going into the Pokemon League. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to do all of them in a row. I better not like mess up.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you're sitting down for this interview process. It's like, all right, which gym gave you the most difficulty? Why are you here?
Yeah.
What was the name of the gym leader that gave you the most difficulty? I'm like, why is this getting stressful?
Ooh, I gotta tell you, there was one of those where it was like, which one gave you the hardest time? I was like, okay, I just picked one, and then it was said, okay, what was the name of the gym leader there? And I started sweating.
Saving Grace is, I'm pretty sure they were listed
in the same order. Yeah, yep. I figured that out as well. Oh god, that was absolutely brutal. I wonder if it lets. Do you think it would let you fail it?
Yes. Okay. I have friends that failed it. They had to do that like 4 times.
Wow, it was weirdly stressful.
Like when she asked like, "Why are you here?" If you just say you're there to have fun, she's like, "No, get out."
Oh my god. That's just here to have fun. Kill yourself. All right, God. Man, this Pokemon game.
You gotta take yourself seriously to be a league champion.
Let me ask you something. So you get through everything. You get to the gate. We go down into the depths of the crater, which I think is awesome. I think that there's this open world area that they tease you about the whole game, and then it ends up being an actual like full area that you go down. Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
Mine, the brightness was very high.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of particle effects too.
Yeah. I don't think it was what they were going for. It took it out. It took me out of it a little bit. I was like messing with my TV settings, like, oh, this sucks. God. But yeah, you kind of saw that too, so it wasn't just me. Because I'm gonna put like my footage on this, so I don't. Yeah.
It is really bright there. Okay. But the music is really good. The music is like dramatic, and then when you get into a Pokemon battle, that theme is so good.
Yo, yes. I also feel like the quality of the cutscenes are at their highest from that segment on. When that scene where you're all jumping on your legendary to jump into the crater, one of the best cutscenes in all of the Pokemon video games. Easy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That was a really good scene. I really like that scene.
The fact that you don't ride on it at first, and for some reason, you create this moment of tension in which you have to grab the hand of Arvin before, like, this just worked for me.
If this was any other game, it'd be a quick time event you could fail.
Right. I think the reason why this tickles me so much is that I was sitting there watching the scene, and I go, who thinks of this? Who says, oh, okay, we're gonna descend into this crater, but all your friends are going to take your Pokemon and go, and and you have to you're gonna jump really quick and grab the hand of your friend so that and then there will be 4 of you on this ground. I just thought this was insane, and but it was so jolly. It was so like, I don't know, the visual of it happening was like so good. It was top tier.
It really felt like you were setting out on the adventure right then and
so
there.
Cool. Yeah, I really liked it. I liked being in the little crater area. I didn't love not being able to ride on my Pokemon. I like get why we did it, but sometimes I was like, I'm moving awfully slow.
Yeah, for the story beat, it really does kind of force your pacing to a certain degree, which when you're with the others, I think is fair. It's nice that you can go back there in the post game, like just to explore, to catch Pokemon, and your ride Pokemon is not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
So
right.
you can go wherever you want in there. But it was definitely a good way to kind of make sure you're keeping on a certain pace, even if it was a bit annoying to deal with.
Totally.
For the plot.
Did you ever try to like go to your menus while the characters were talking to you?
Yeah.
It's so weird. It just doesn't.
I kept getting ambushed by like Haluchas and other Pokemon while they were talking to me, and then they would halt and they would wait for me to finish my battle, and then they would continue the conversation.
Like, I just want to change my lead Pokemon. And they're like, no, we're talking about our origins. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
We're talking about who's the better best friend.
I love that at the end of the game, we have the reveal that Nimona is a nepotism baby. I was not expecting that heel turn. I was like, no, it was there was, I think it was Arvin being like, listen, dude, we know your parents are like loaded. Like, you can't hide. I was like, dude, Nimona, silver spoon. No wonder you're a champion so young. Oh God. But yeah, did you encounter any of the Paradox Pokemon before the story kind of like thrust them upon you?
Not quite. Like there was the very first one you encountered. I think like in your case you said it was the Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
In my case it was the Delibird.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was after like the second or third research station before starting to go underground that I actually encountered some without the game throwing them at me, because I started to explore a little bit and I went in a nearby cave and I found the Iron Jugulis. I'm like, oh, that's a problem. So I went and I caught that and then continued the rest of the way down.
Okay. I had a cool moment where I like saw the Misdreavus, and am I saying that wrong?
Yeah. No, that's right.
I'm not? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
That's one that I always look at it on paper and I go, that could be anything. That could be. So, yeah, I saw that before, like, the story, like, showed me one. But then I really liked, skipping ahead now, to when we finally get the reveal about the AI, the professor, the whole thing, which is absolutely crazy. Which, let's talk about that right now, but really quick. I love that her team I love that their team is all of those Paradox Pokemon. I think that was a really cool way to do that.
I love that they're all caught in Master Balls too.
Yeah.
It's a great touch.
Fun details. But there's kind of this drawn out segment of like slowly revealing to you that something is wrong with this professor. The text getting all weird, which we were talking about, that was really funny. Hello children. Oh
God.
Insane, dude. And then, like, when you see them for the first time, kind of, like, hunched over dead in that chair, and then, like, booting up, like, I loved all of this. Yeah.
It set the mood, like, perfectly. Like the delivery, the presentation of it was so good, was phenomenal.
Right. Yeah. And I actually think that I think we were both surprised that Pokemon was so happy to be like, I'm dead. I am not lost, not vanished, not in a portal to another time. I am dead. I have ripped in peace many years ago. Arvin is an orphan. Like, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Is there any chance,
I was
Tris?
not, and how casually they threw it out too. Well, not casually, but like it wasn't like this big dramatic reveal of the, in the middle of battle, like, I'm not really the professor, I'm really an AI.
Yeah.
Like, he just like they just outright tell you, like when you finally meet up, it's like, oh,
shocked.
That's tragic.
Shocked.
And you learn exactly when it happened too, which is rough.
Right. And
Which,
yeah.
actually, thinking on that, that's right before the game starts up, probably. Because your ride Pokemon, the opening cutscene is it escaping out of the crater and going out into the world.
Right.
And we learned it fled the crater because it lost the territorial dispute. The territorial dispute of which was when the professor got killed.
Can I go get that second one, by the way? Can I go get that guy?
Yes.
Sick.
Yes, you can. If you go all the way back down, there's like other paths around at the very bottom, and he's just kind of like up on a very dramatic slope.
Cool. I want to get
Waiting for you.
Cause going into my menu every time to switch this child from ride form to battle form, no, absolutely not. When you ride them, it goes back into out of your party.
Yep.
Whose decision was this? Why?
I think that's why you can get two. That's why you can get two. So you can have one to stay in ride form and one to stay in battle form. Or, for trading purposes, so you don't lose your bike.
It's nice to trade. It is. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's funny. I did not think about that. There has to be a second one because you can't trade a mechanic.
Yeah.
You can't. Okay, that's funny actually. Good thinking there, Pokemon. So crazy sequence. Did you? Okay. Here's my question for you now, and then I think we're getting close to wrapping things up. I was listening to some other podcast spoiler things, whatever reviews, people that alluded to this ending, and now I have finally seen it for myself. And the take I have seen shared online was, whoa, this actually made me feel something. This is like way up there, maybe the best of these Pokemon endings, best of these Pokemon stories of all time. Do you agree? What's your take on this?
When you look at the fact that this is the first Pokemon game, potentially ever, but what feels like it, at the very least, where you don't actually have an evil team. You don't have a group of people with ulterior motives that are bad.
Right.
You have one person whose warped ideals and desires drove them to insanity that borderline equaled being evil. You had like the last, say, 3 generations of Pokemon that wanted to do that, but said, no. We need an evil team. We always have an evil team.
Yeah.
So the chairman, bad. The president of the foundation, she's gonna go insane and go evil.
Yeah.
And so are all her underlings. And so are all the chairman's underlings. Like, why? We don't need an evil team that badly. The fact that up until you go into the crater, the most you're dealing with are school delinquents that you're like, get back to school. The bullies are gone. Stop. Get better.
Yeah.
That's really the most you're doing, that you're making the school better.
Right.
Until you go in the crater and you learn, oh, there's some bad stuff going on here. Caused by one person who's not even alive anymore. That's so different for Pokemon that it feels like they've been wanting to reach that point for like 3 generations now, and they finally did it without having to disguise it behind a team. Because they easily could have been like, actually, at each research center are 10 scientists that are gonna stop you. They didn't. They kept it the one. And I really respect them for that. And that actually really upped the story for me here, because it means they were taking it seriously. They were not trying to force in things that they felt needed to be there by previous standards.
Whoa! Did not consider the no scientists in the crater. You're right. There is a version of this game, big time scientists stopping you at every little check mark.
Every research center.
100%. That is cool. So you liked it?
Yeah, I really liked this, and I think that the way the climax was handled was even more exciting than some previous ones. Okay. The only thing that I think they could have done better, I liked how in Sword and Shield you had a raid battle against Eternatus with Hop, and in this game they were, when we went down with our 3 best friends, I thought for sure we were building up to a raid battle of some sort.
Yeah, me too.
Against the other ride Pokemon, or against like some big threatening future or paradox Pokemon.
Right.
Which the book literally shows legendary Paradox Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
The Scarlet book, I'm pretty sure, shows like the 3 Kanto dogs or Johto or whatever they are, like, fused together.
Yeah, it's sick.
And the Violet book shows the ones from Gen 5 all fused together, like drawn out and everything. So clearly, there's gonna be more at some point because we didn't have that. But like, I beat the AI professor and everything, and I was like, oh, we're really not doing the raid battle? I was actually like really thinking we were gonna do it. I was gonna get excited for that, but
yeah,
it felt like it. But...
Yeah, it did. Do you think there's any? I'm so sorry to come back to this. Do you think there's any chance in DLC we save? Oh, only because you brought up that mysterious Pokemon. There will be DLC, obviously. Is there any chance we bring back Arvin's parent? Is there any chance? No. Arvin's parent is dead.
I think Arvin's parent's gone.
I can't believe this.
The original and the AI that decides to go through the time machine themselves to whichever era. Which is handled kind of differently between the two games, but in terms of what that era is and why they want to go.
Right.
But yeah, there are some level of plot holes there. Not in the case of, oh, Pokemon's lazy with plot holes, but it's more of, there's very clearly things that they could still explore in a DLC that I think they purposely left open, such as, if you go back to the time machine, it is very clearly still functioning to some degree.
Oh.
Like, not like the thing up top, but like, all the lights are still on if you go back in that room. All of them. There's still sounds and everything. Like, I don't think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
And
Pokemon are still leaking out, too.
I mentioned in the book, there's those, like, legendaries, probably exclusive to each version, that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
So, clearly, there's still something else to explore with it.
Okay.
And this is something I mentioned to you before we even did our recording that I wanted to bring up here. Everything that went on with the professor does not explain the main mystery with the crater that has spanned the entirety of the history class you take. People always getting sent down on expeditions and never coming back. People encountering Paradox Pokemon that they should never have encountered. The time machine was recent, but those expeditions were further back.
Right.
The time machine shouldn't have existed then. So how were people encountering these Paradox Pokemon back then? Unless I, like, missed a detail and, like, everything in that book was from after the time machine got made within, I don't know, the last 10 years or something like that.
Right.
That's still... There's still a whole issue there of what made the crater so dangerous in the first place.
No, yeah, you're right, because there is... I think you're right that there is, like, oh, we're writing about these weird Pokemon down in the crater before any mention of the time machine. So maybe there is some inherent time travel to the crater, which is why the time machine is able to. I don't know. That's interesting though. There's more to do with that crater.
There's definitely more to do, and I fully expect them to do it. This isn't me saying like, oh, they're never going to explore these things. It's going to be the ghost girl at Gen 6 all over again. But I think they're clearly leaving things open that they could explore in a DLC.
Right.
And I hope it happens.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Me too. I think DLC is super exciting for this. So, Tris.
Yeah.
Where does this rank in Pokemon games for you?
Top 3. Top 3 for sure.
Now, for context, give me the two others.
Gen 5, specifically Black 2, White 2.
Black 2, White 2.
Because I love the post game in that game, and it has a lot of Pokemon I love, and those games are just really fun.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, because it's really torn between some of them. I am gonna say Sword and Shield, because I really enjoyed those. What this bumped out of my top 3 was Gen 2, Gold and Silver.
Whoa, Gen 2, rip. That's crazy. Okay, wow, I like that ranking. I respect it. I know people love those Gen 5 games. That's next on the docket for remakes. So
yeah, in like 5 years.
In like 5 years. So get hype, everybody. Need that Switch 2 to handle the Gen 5 remakes, I'd say. So before we completely conclude things here, I feel it is necessary when talking about these games to address the elephant in the room, which is we've talked so much about liking these games, enjoying these games, but we both recognize that the performance and general stability of these games is
Yes.
monkey butt. And
Yeah.
we're not trying to defend that. We're not trying to say that it's fine. But I put this tweet out the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm thinking a lot about this. That I think the reason why it is so easy to be forgiving of performance in Pokemon games is back in the day, we were watching these pixels come into the frame, and it would just tell us an attack happened and barely anything happened. And I think that so much of it was left to our imaginations that, like, for Pokemon fans, I think filling in the blanks is something we're kind of used to doing. So it's
Right.
that skill is kind of like built in there already, but also it's not a particularly like fast-paced game, so there's like that argument to it too. But God, I am so annoyed about the camera thing, Triss. There are battles where, okay, perfect example. That fighting that weirdo Jigglypuff when we go into the crater. That is a battle that I am forced into. I don't pick where I stand. It is right after a cutscene. It throws me right into it. And that battle starts, and I am peeking under the ground. And
Yep.
I'm seeing, why did nobody play this game? Like, it gets under my skin sometimes, and
Yeah.
and I don't want to get into the whole, oh, the Pokemon Company has unlimited money, blah blah blah. I don't want to, the discourse is awful, but where I come down on it is that this game has so many issues that it shouldn't have, and I think wouldn't have if given more time. And
Exactly.
yeah, and
Exactly.
and it is so, I think, heartbreaking for there is a really good game underneath all of that here, and I can't blame anybody for skipping out on it because they can't get past the stuff that we're talking about. Can't blame anybody.
Yeah. It with the way it is right now, yeah, I definitely get that. And it really is heartbreaking, as you mentioned, because like we even mentioned in our review discussion how much we enjoy the game, but you can't look past that.
Ugh.
I mean, I had a friend that was so excited to start the game.
Yeah.
Booted the game up, couldn't leave the living room. Went in the living room in their house, the camera got stuck there, they had to reset the game just to be able to start. And like, that's an awful first impression.
Awful.
And it's disappointing that it was able to release in that state. And I think literally one more year.
Ugh.
And I think this game would be near flawless in its performance if they had the time to be able to bug fix everything. And I think if we are getting DLC, they will go through and patch most of the performance related problems. As best as they can.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I think there, something
The,
occurred
game,
to
the
me.
things the things that are genuinely close to game breaking, I think they will. Like the memory leak issue.
As I was taking in the credits sequence underscored by Edward Sheeran, it actually occurred to me, literally watching the credits, I was like, whoa, not enough people in these credits. So, like, I don't know if these problems can be fixed. I'm not behind the scenes looking at their development environments and stuff, because it's like the camera stuff. That's not like performance. You know what I mean? That's about like the bones that the game is built on. And like we'll see if they can fix that. I don't know. It's just stuff like that seems hard, but I just wanted to mention it because I think I think in any discussion of this game, it is something that infiltrates the experience of playing it. And it would
quite a bit in some instances.
Quite a bit. Yeah. And honestly, all of the glitches aside, if they could just get this game to run a little smoother, make the pop in a little bit better, and stop the crashes. I can't tell you how many comments I've seen from people on that video Andre made about how to use a secret cheat code to access a backup save that were like, oh man, this saved me $1 million. Like, that has to stop. That's no good. That's no good. But yeah, I think it's closer. I think it is closer to being in a state where the performance issues are far less of a problem than people think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely think, like, if we were to look back on this game a year from its release, so November 18th, 2023, I feel like it'll be in a better state, marginally better state, even if it's only a small margin. I would be shocked if it's out, done, never touched again. I would be shocked.
Oh, God, I hope so. It would be awesome. It would be awesome if one day we're just roaming around these open worlds and it's just like, it's not like constantly. I only watched a little bit of it, but that Digital Foundry breakdown, dear God, it's a horror show. So okay, well, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. These are good video games. These are, you know, it's. How do you encapsulate it? How do you this I truly think this is one of the most interesting stories in video games of the year. This game coming out, it being what it is and having the issues that it has. Performance issues aside, the other issues that this game has are stupid. Like clothing customization. That is a stupid issue to have, and there is no reason why we should have it. Like, why does my character look like a dingus from day 0 to day 100? I hate wearing red pants. I hate wearing. They're not even scarlet. They're orange. What is going on? Yeah.
You know, Sword and Shield had this in the bag where you had to wear the gym uniform when you went to gyms. So why don't we do that here? You put on the school uniform when you walk into the school.
Oh, damn it.
Like, come on.
Oh, damn it, Tris. God damn it.
That's how you fix that. And
that would have been cool,
not?
too. That would have been neat. I would have appreciated the uniform. Oh, man. All right.
And then if it was like that from the beginning, though, then you would have had people being like, but what if I want to wear my uniform outside of school? And then you say, well, don't worry. Sword and Shield let you do that, too. You can wear your gym uniform whenever you want, so we'll let you do that with the school uniform, too. And we don't have that. In this case, you were always stuck in the school uniform.
Awful. And the customizations outside of that uniform are so stupid. God bless whoever's day job was making socks for this game. God bless them.
When do you see them?
When do you see them?
depending on what you wear, you never see those socks.
No. All right. Well, this has been a joy. Now, Tris, you and I are about to. It'll probably go up around the same time of this video, if not sooner or after. We are going to do a battle between the two of us using our teams that we completed the game with, so people can check that out, see who was on our squad, who got us through to the end. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're out there watching, you made it all the way to the end, and you want a little bit more action, that's where we'll be. So thank you so much for tuning in for this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet spoiler discussion. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the end of the game. And I want to know which new Pokemon is most worthy of respect and which is most worthy of disrespect. Thank you so much for...
You guys better respect Tatsugiri, please.
Oh, respect. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.